Welcome to my Core Fit leg workout. We're going to do a series of exercises that'll help to strengthen your core. Remember, your core is from here all the way down to the lower part of your mid-thigh. Each exercise is going to be 45 seconds on, 15 seconds rest, and we're going to do that 3 times. Please keep in mind if you have any increase in pain, joint pain, numbness, tingling, you need to stop the exercise and modify. If you get fatigued or tired, take a small break and you can begin with this again when you can. This is at your own pace. It shouldn't increase pain and it should just increase strength over time. So we're going to join. First we're going to start with a chair squat. So we're going to start in this position, 15 seconds on, and it's a chair squat and up. It's important to keep proper form. You can sit into that chair and come back up. Keeping those glutes squeezed, pull those belly in, keep your feet pointed forward, and your back up nice and straight. The hands out just counterbalance your weight back. Remember, nice good posture. You're going at your own pace. As you get stronger, you can go a little bit more, or you can try the various squats that we talked about earlier. And one more. Excellent. The next one we're going in is to bridge. I'm going to do mine a little bit modified. If you're new to this, start with your feet on the floor. Bridge goes here, arms are by your side, and we begin. Remember, it's 45 seconds on, 15-second rest. Really squeeze those butt muscles. Sometimes I have people put their hands right here. Make sure you're really targeting that. Go as high as you can. If you feel this in your hamstrings, that means you're not using your butt as much as you should. Belly stays pulled in. Shoulder blades are back. To make this a little harder, you can add your arms up here so that there's less stable base. And you should really focus on the muscles that you're working. And that's a pause. Nice job. Next one is a static lunge. So we're going to get in that nice lunge position. Belly's in, leg is back, and we're going to stay in that lunge position and we're going to pulse. Our back stays nice and straight. Our shoulder blades are back. Our knees are not over our toe yet. We're basically at a 90 degree here, 90 degree here, 90 degree here. And we're pulsing up and down. Yep, it burns. Think of squeezing this glute, squeezing this glute. Remember that abdominal muscle stays pulled in. Nice and strong core. Our glute muscles are really important, and often we don't have good glute strength or stabilization to keep ourselves going. Excellent. We're going to switch legs. Big step back. Good. Belly in. Now remember, take that rest break. It's 15 seconds though. Make sure you get a little bit of water if you need it. And down into that pulse. You'll feel a stretch on the front of your thigh of the back leg here. Yeah, belly stays pulled in. You're going to deepen that stretch in the front. Keep that glute squeezed on that side. Back goes nice and upright. If you want to make this more challenging, you can grab some weights in your hand if you need to. And keep taking those nice big deep breaths. Yes, this is burning. If you need a second, you can just pause. But it's important that you try to push through the soreness of the muscle. But again, there should be no pain. If you need to lessen the depth of the squat, then go ahead. Good, and come on back out of that. The next one we're going to do is a glute walk. This band goes around your ankles. You start to the side. Belly pulled in, and it's a small side step. Toes are pointed forward, and we're going to go back and forth. Good. It's really important to make sure your hips stay level. So I like to keep that shoulder blades back, hands on my hips, my toes pointed forward. Excellent. You'll feel the burn right in through here. Good, nice upright posture. Good, one more time back. You can do this over a longer distance if you need to. And that's a pause on that one. The next two are on your hands and knees. The first one, your knees, hands go underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And it's just a leg straight out and you're pulsing upward. Belly stays pulled in and you should feel that right in that glute muscle. Keep that toe relaxed but slightly pointed. Keep those shoulder blades squeezed in and the belly pulled in, nice and tight. Your pelvis should be level to the floor so that your hips aren't rotated at all. And you're just pulsing up. If you notice my back is not arching, it's staying nice and stable. I'm just focused on my glute in that side. This gets your arms and legs going too, so the more you stay squeezed in your shoulder blades, the better. Bring that down. We're going to do that same side. Now our knee's going to be bent, heel towards the ceiling, and we're going to pulse it upright. This gets that glute a little bit differently. Same thing, keep those elbows nice and straight. Keep that pelvis level to the floor. Belly stays pulled in. Head nice and neutral. And it's that glute that's doing the work. Go at your own pace. Obviously, the faster you go, the little bit more of a workout it might be. Keep that belly in. That's one of the most important things. That'll keep your back from hurting. If you need a break, just pause for a second. Try to keep that heel pointed straight towards the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Now the other side. Leg goes out straight. We're focusing right in this area here on our glute. Keep those shoulder blades nice and stable. You're also working this hip that you're on. And begin. Belly stays pulled in. Pelvis is nice and level. Right to the floor. You're not sinking into your shoulder blades, but you're pushing out and up. So you can see my shoulder blade muscles working. I'm working my core and you can hear my breathing. So this is the nice thing about core workout is you can get even some cardiovascular changes just by going through the core workout a little bit differently. Keep those glute muscles working. Not your back, this is your butt muscles. Good. 15 seconds. Oh, the break is nice, but it does go by fast. Now the next one is knee bent, heel pointing towards the ceiling. 45 seconds on, 15 seconds rest. This is our last exercise, and then we'll go back to the beginning again. Remember to keep that belly in. I know I say it a lot, but it's really important, and it's almost a reminder to me that I need to keep my belly in. Back stays nice and straight. Don't arch through it. Squeeze that butt muscle. Excellent job. I feel that burn in that. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. You can just do a quick stretch, but remember to get right back up for the squat. Now for those of you who want to stay with the chair squat, I'm going to let you stay with the chair squat. If not, we're going to do a little wide squat. Excellent. And begin. So remember, if you're a beginner, you're staying with that chair squat. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can try this squat here. If you want to add a little bit of weight, you can grab 2 to 3 pound weight, keep it in your hands. Notice my back is staying nice and straight. My legs are going parallel to the floor. You can go as deep as you can. My belly muscles are stayed pulled in, and I'm going at my own pace. Excellent. 2 more. Last one. Excellent. We're going back into the bridge. We're going to do that double-legged bridge again. Feet up on the bench. I'm going to make mine challenging, arms towards the ceiling, and I'm going to lift. Keep that belly squeezed super tight. You'll feel a little stretch in the front of your hips. Shoulder blades are together. If this hurts the back of your neck, make sure you're staying with your shoulder blades on the ground. Use that butt muscle. You can squeeze a ball on your inner thighs if you'd like to. Or you can take that band that went around your knees and you can have it around your ankles. You can have it around your knees to make it a little bit harder. Excellent. Now we're going to get into that static lunge. I'm going to show you from the front view this time. I'm going to add a little bit of weight, but you don't have to. 1 foot in front, 1 foot behind, and we're going to pulse. These are more your beginner exercises, but it really is amazing how some very basic exercises done 3 different times with 15-second break in between can make it challenging on your body, challenging on your cardiovascular system, and really work that core and stabilize. Remember, your core is from here to here. And so we need all of those muscles working really well. We're going to swap legs in 3, 2, 1. Swap sides. You've got a 15-second break. Take a nice big deep breath. Don't forget to take water if you need to. And we're going to start again. It's amazing how quick 15 seconds goes. Back stays nice and straight. Really focusing on keeping my glute nice and squeezed. My body's not rotating from side to side. Staying nice and upright. I can feel that stretch all the way in the front here. And my belly's staying pulled in. Shoulder blades are back. And we're pulsing. That pulsing can really cause some good burning. That burning's normal. Just not numbness or tingling is what we're looking for. Almost done here. 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. I'm feeling it in my legs. I hope you are too. So now we have the band around our knees. Good. Our ankles. If it's too hard around your ankles, feel free to put it around your knees. The closer to your core it is, the easier it becomes. Notice my back is staying nice and straight. I'm not lifting my hip. That's not what we're looking for. Nice and level. If you ever played basketball, it's kind of like that basketball shuffle. If you want to make it harder, you can try to hold your arms out by the side. That keeps those shoulder blades squeezed nice and tight. Remember, my belly's pulled in. And I'm working my core. And I should feel it right on the sides there. And it's a small little inch step. And we're done with that. Now we got the last 2. They're on our hands and knees. So our hands are right underneath our shoulder blades. Good. Leg out straight. And we're going to pulse it up. Try to stay as balanced as you can on both hands and that knee. The leg that's down on the ground, that's working hard too, because you're actually stabilizing through that leg to balance and hold your body. So that hip sometimes can feel tired as well. Remember, these are nice and controlled. Notice how my whole body's not moving, it's just that leg. My knee's not bent, it's nice and straight. And you should feel it right in that butt muscle. Think about the muscle you're working, that's going to help you. Nice job. You can tuck it in and stretch it just a bit while we wait to go on to the next one. Same leg, knee stays bent, foot flexed. Good, and we're going to pulse it up. So belly's in all the time. At some point that'll come second nature. And your focus is really on making sure that you're getting that glute working as well as you can. So I'm really trying to squeeze hard. You want to make sure you're not arching your back like this to get it up there or going back and forth. Everything stays nice and stable as our leg pulses up towards that ceiling. Sometimes the less movement, the more challenging it is. If we stay at that top, you'll feel it right in the glute. Nice job, small stretch. Almost done round 2. And we're going to start this back up again. Nice job. Keep that leg pointing very straight out. And remember, your knee is right under your hip. Make sure you're not leaning too far on it, like this off to the side. You want to be right up over it. Small movements are harder. Keep that belly pulled in at all times. Remember, those shoulder blades aren't sinking down, but they're pushing up. These are reminders to myself as well. Good. And we got one more. Bend that knee. If you start to feel too much in your lower back, keep the motions a little bit smaller. And make sure you keep that belly in so you can keep the leg down here more if you need to. This next one, bent. This one's a little harder because it pulls on the front of your thigh. And if you don't have great flexibility, sometimes you'll feel it here because you're trying to turn to lift it. So if you need to keep the motion down here more, that's fine. Just really make sure that you're working that butt muscle and that you're really focusing on that. Again, if your hamstring's tightening, it's because you're not squeezing your butt muscle enough. Oftentimes our hamstrings feel tight because they're doing the work that the glute muscle is supposed to do. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nice job. Make sure you grab a glass of water. We're going back into the squat. This time, to make the squat a little harder for those that want, we're going to do squat jumps. For those of you who are still in that beginner phase, please stay with the squat on the chair. You can go down as far as you need to. A lot of people are afraid to do squats because they feel that it'll hurt their knees. But squats are very functional. That's how you get up and down off a chair. And it's super important to be able to have good mechanics. Notice my knees are staying nice and straight. They're not going in. My feet are landing quietly on the floor. Again, you can go as fast or slow as you want. Nice job. That gets your heart rate up a little bit more. We're going to go back to the bridge. So if you need this stabilization, you can even try arms out to the side. That activates your shoulder blades a little bit more. To make the bridge harder, you can put it on a ball, which is a little more unstable, and it helps to work your core a little bit more. Again, you can add that little band around your knees to push out with, or you can put a small towel roll in between your knees and squeeze it. But your hips, your feet should stay just in line with your sit bones and your hip. And notice I'm going nice and slow. I'm not super arching my back. Excellent. Hug your knees in for just a bit. We're getting ready for that lunge. Now to make this lunge a little harder, you can stay with that pulse. We're going to do a backwards lunge with our knee up. Again, only if you have good balance and stability should you be doing this, and no pain. It's important to start where you are and then progress from there. Too often people in boot camps, they try to start where everybody else is, and they don't know how to make the modifications that's needed for their body. You know your body, and you want to make sure that it's working the way that it's designed to do. If you ever have any questions, feel free to email me or give me a call. Nice job. We're going to swap legs. This is our last round. So stay focused. This is the hardest round sometimes, but this is where the strength really happens. Backs up nice and straight, belly in. Lunges are a normal functional activity as well, because we lunge to pick up something. We lunge to go and reach for something, and it protects our back if we can do this. A lot of people just lunge improperly and don't keep the legs far enough apart, and they lose their balance. So a good lunge should make you stronger if you can keep the form. Take whatever breaks that you need. Keep that core in. Last one. Nice job. Back to the glute walk. So pelvis nice and level. If you want a challenge, keep those hands out to your side. But if you need the reinforcement, make sure it stays right at your hips. You want to make sure those toes are pointing straight ahead. Sometimes as we get tired, we tend to turn them outwards, but that actually cheats and uses the wrong muscles. Remember, form is the most important part of this to do it right. Not how many reps or how hard, but how good your form is. Good, and stop. We've got the last two left. Remember, they're on our hands and knees. Knees are directly under. This is called quadruped. Leg out straight, and that belly stays super pulled in, and I'm really targeting right here at my glute. Small pulses can often be a little harder than big movements. But if you need to, keep it lower and just focus on that glute muscle. Your glute muscle is a lot bigger than your hamstrings, and often people are overworking those hamstrings. There's four muscles that make up your hamstring, and there's three that make up your glute. I always tell people the glute's kind of like a prime rib. It's a bigger cross section, where your hamstrings are more like steak tips. They're small, and there's four that run along your body, along your lower leg. And so the bigger muscle has more area to stabilize and is more of a prime mover for walking and climbing, but we often tend to not have as much glute muscles because we spend more time sitting on them than we do tightening them and working them. So you should feel like your heart rate's up a bit as you're doing these. Those muscles should be kind of tired at this point. Maybe even a little burn and maybe even need a break. And we swap sides. One last one. Bring that opposite leg out. Keep those shoulder blades nice and tight. And we lift. That glute muscle's doing its job. Belly's pulled in. I'm not arching my spine. It's staying in a nice neutral position. Nice big deep breaths as I'm doing these exercises. It's always important to make sure you get a lot of water in as well. One more to go. 3, 2, 1. Last one. Nice job. Remember, that third one is the most important one to make that a little bit harder to really get that strength. And we're going to pulse it up. Last time. Slow and steady for this one. Keep that back nice and stable. If you need to take a break, don't hesitate to take a small break. Because if you start to lose your form, then you need to make sure you take the break so that you keep good form. You got 15 seconds to go. Nice job. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Thanks for joining me for my Core Fit leg workout.